All right, welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I am here to talk about fight number 5, Chris Curtis versus Joaquin Buckley. And I've just realized that I've been yelling at you. I don't know why I'm talking like that. All right, Chris Curtis versus Joaquin Buckley. Chris Curtis is 35 years old. Damn, that's older than I thought. Buckley's 28, seems about right. These guys are both similarly built fighters. They both fought at welterweight and have now settled into solid, I think, ranked middleweights. They're both 5'10", I think. I don't know. I got some different measurements. Maybe Buckley's 5'8", maybe he's 6 foot tall, but similar reach. I didn't write it down, and they both have solid records. 15-5 for Joaquin Buckley. He's got 11 finishes via TKO, 4 decisions, no submissions, and his 5 losses include 3 via KO and 2 via decision. So as far as the finish goes, he's live or die by the knockout. Chris Curtis has a similarly looking record, only he's got twice the fights almost. He's got a record of 29-9, 16 KOs, 1 submission, 12 decisions, and his 9 losses are a little different, I guess. 1 TKO, 1 submission, and 7 via decision. Primarily, this guy is tough to get out of. You got to beat him by decision. Ray Cooper, who's a monster from the PFL, if you don't know, knocked him out. Or Ray Cooper the third, I should say, knocked him out. And Tom Galicchio submitted him way back when. And Tom Galicchio is also a former UFC fighter, Ultimate Fighter contestant, twice. But 29-9, and mostly he's been defeated by decision. Chris Curtis is a tough out for a lot of fighters because he's got really good power, really good hands. He's very dangerous inside the pocket. Just great body work. I love watching this guy strike. And Buckley, I love watching strike more. Buckley's also very good in the pocket, really good and tight, really powerful, really throws some wild shit sometimes, as we've seen. Some famous highlights. That knockout, do I even have to mention it, over Impa Kasanganay? That's one of the best knockouts of all time. I suppose it is worth mentioning. I mean, he did get it done. May as well mention it every time he fights. It was fucking amazing. And that, I don't want to say that could happen against Chris Curtis, but for a guy who does like fighting in the pocket and working in tight with body work and getting inside with his hands, he's putting himself into Joaquin Buckley's range there, his optimal range. And Joaquin Buckley could make shit happen because, that fucking whatever kick it was called was pretty tight in there. That was a pretty tight kick. And I favor Curtis in this one. I got to be honest, I favor Curtis. I trust Curtis to hold up more technically overall. Buckley's he's been in some sloppy fights. I really like what I've seen from him in round 3 against Imavov, but not so much against Al Hassan. That was a razor-thin fight, but, And Chris Curtis, even though he's not going to bring, neither one of these guys, theoretically, is going to bring much grappling to the table, but I trust Curtis's chin to hang in there, and his counter-striking. I think Chris Curtis he hits hard enough to get Buckley out of there. And even if he doesn't, and you told me this fight went to a decision, I would favor Curtis slightly. I'd favor Curtis, knowing, again, he's putting himself into Buckley's realm there. But still, I think Curtis gets the better of the points. And the first knockout, I think, is much more likely to come to Chris Curtis. Even though Buckley's got more power, and, especially when it all comes together in some fucking twisting kick or whatever, he's got more concussive power there, but Chris Curtis, he's got very strong knockout power as well. 16 of his 29 victories, almost half of them, and he's got a pretty solid, deep resume there. He's fought a lot of good fighters, and we've seen it inside the UFC, him knocking around Brendan Allen and Phil Hawes, even though that hasn't exactly aged that well. But I trust Chris Curtis to stay reserved, stay composed, be able to hang with Buckley on the feet. These guys have sparred together. It's not like they're going to taste anything unusual. And I think overall, I trust Chris Curtis's intangibles more, specifically his durability and his power, of course. Even though, I trust Buckley's power more, with everything combined and Chris Curtis's ability to land, I think his power is going to be the difference maker in this one before Buckley's is. So Chris Curtis is the pick, plus 135. I guess I would go with him getting a late finish, which you could get plus for KO plus 900 and plus 1500 for rounds 2 and 3. Worth a sprinkle for me, absolutely. But really, I just played his money line because I know it could go to a decision. These guys are both tough, and I don't trust any finish really in with these two guys here. But Buckley's been finished more. I do think it would be more likely to go Curtis's way if you told me somebody was finished. But again, overall, I'm just taking Curtis plus 135, the money line. Like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit, and check out my other videos.